Here's an easy guide on how to get to round 100 on Liberty Falls with no gobblegums and minimal effort. First, we need to take a look at the build we're going to be bringing into the map. So starting off with your augments, first I'm going to show you some augments that you don't need, but it would probably make your life easier. On Quick Revive, you can put on Dying Wish just in case, so you don't down if you lose all your health and you're given a second chance. However, you will lose your Quick Revive and you're gonna have to go and rebuy it. Tribologist and PhD Slider together can help you survive just in case. Now we're gonna look at the augments that are necessary in order to do the strategy. On Juggernog, you need Probiotic, and this is because you're gonna be hit a lot during this strat, and you need Hardened Plates. Having both of these augments will help you throughout the strategy. On Speedquiller, you need to get the Supercharged Major Augment. This is because we're going to be using the field upgrade a lot during the strategy, so you do need it. And on Vulturade, you need to get the Minor Augment Picky Eater. This is because we're going to be using a lot of Casimirs in this run, and with Picky Eater we can get Casimirs back easily. And finally, for Energy Mine, this is the most important one. You do need to get both the Turret Augment and you need to get Extra Charge. We're going to be using energy mines throughout the strategy a lot. Now as for loadout weapons, spawn whatever you feel you're comfortable with. I personally want to use the Kilo 141 assault rifle with these attachments. Just make sure it does have a suppressor for extra salvage, but whatever gun you bring doesn't matter because we're going to abandon it pretty early on anyways. However, before loading in, make sure you do customize the GS45 pistol to have these attachments. These attachments are really important as we need this gun specifically for one part of the strategy. But don't spawn in with the pistols. Just set these attachments and then set it as a zombie build. We're gonna be buying the pistols off the wall in the spawn room. For the rest of the loadout, bring in decoys as your tactical, and for your melee weapon, bring in whatever you want. We don't really need melee weapons, but it can be useful and I'll show you how later on. You can spawn in with Ether Shroud to make the setup process easy, and we can switch to Energy Mine later on once the actual strategy starts. So this is the setup phase. Ideally, you want to complete the setup before round 20. So during the setup, we have to focus on getting all the perks, getting the jet gun, getting legendary pistols with tier 3 pack-a-punch, and getting tier 3 armor. Now, if you have gobblegums, you can easily achieve this before round 20, but if you don't have any gobblegums like me, you do need to complete the Easter egg in order to get a free perkaholic, and you'll be also given tier 3 pack-a-punch and legendary rarity on your weapon for free. If you don't know how to get the jet gun for free or how to complete the Easter egg, you can either play directed mode because it shows you how to do both, or you can check the guides in my description. Now there's one door you have to keep closed for the entire run, and that is the entrance to the bank. If you're wondering how to get Juggernog without opening the doors to the bank, there is a method. If you go over to the roof of the bank and open up this door and then spam interact around this wall, you can open up the ice cream shop, which will allow you to enter the bank from the ice cream shop to pick up Juggernog. Now we need to get set up before round 20. This just means ideally you want to complete the Easter egg before round 20. Now if you already know how to do that, you can skip to the next segment of the video, which is in the timestamps below. However, I can give you some tips to set up and complete the Easter egg before round 20 easily. First, I recommend that you spend the first 6 rounds here using your main loadout weapon. You can use Rampage Inducer during this time, however if you feel that is too difficult, you don't have to. Once it is round 6 and it's time to move, go ahead and buy the GS45 pistols off the wall. You should have the attachments you set pre-game. Now go ahead through the left side of the map and start working on some small things. Buy PhD, get the part from the groundskeeper, pack-a-punch your pistols. Now just fully focus on building the jet gun. I recommend you leave the valve step for the last, and that's because if you have the mangler cannon from the previous step, once you shoot your last shot of the mangler cannon, hold interact on the valve, and you should be able to use your guns during this process. Now because you have PhD and the GS45 pistols, this will make turning the valve super easy, as all you have to really do is shoot your feet and make sure you don't die. Also, when you're on round 11, you want to do the zombie rain Easter egg by shooting the zombie head on top of the church. This will make a bunch of zombie rain from the sky, and the reason why you want to do this on round 11 is because it'll guarantee spawn a blue ether tool, so you can get your pistols to the blue rarity without having to upgrade it and lose salvage. Now you want to get the Easter egg finished. To get it done as early as possible, all you need are the basic minimums, which are Napalm Burst on your pistols to deal with manglers faster, at least purple rarity, which you'll definitely have enough salvage for, tier 1 pack-a-punch is enough, the 4 basic perks, Quick Revive, PhD, Juggernog and Speed Cola, and finally at least tier 2 armor. If one of the manglers you kill drop a mutant injector, pick it up because that can be helpful in the boss fight as well, but you do not need it. Once the cutscene is over, don't forget to press continue so the game doesn't end and you can get the rewards for beating the Easter egg. For beating the Easter egg, you should be given every single perk in the game, as well as a tier 3 Pack-a-Punch crystal that you want to apply on your pistols, a legendary ether tool that you want to apply on your pistols, and also if there's a second tier 3 Pack-a-Punch crystal, make sure you put that on your jet, but if you don't get it, that's fine, you can Pack-a-Punch it later. If there's any extra ether tools lying around, apply that on your melee weapon. You don't have to, but you can if you want to. You should also now probably have enough points to go get tier 3 armor, and if you don't, just kill a few more zombies and go buy it off the wall. Second segment of the video, now we're going to be looking at the early game strategy. So for the early game strategy, all our goal is to get to round 30 or around 30 and have enough points to get our jet gun to tier 3 Pack-a-Punch. During this time you can also Pack-a-Punch your melee, but leave that for last as your jet gun is more important. This is also the time you want to switch to Energy Mine as your field upgrade. So for now the strategy is really simple. All you want to do is open up this zip line on the roof of the bank and then just camp in here with your Pack-a-Punch pistols. If for any reason an abomination spawns, it'll be really early and you'll easily be able to take it out using your pistols. Once you finish your first round on the roof, immediately go and craft yourself a mutant injector if you don't already have one. We're not going to be using it now, but we're going to be saving it later for when an abomination spawns in and it's too difficult for our pistols to take him out. Spend the spider rounds next to the crafting bench where we got our mutant injector, as this is where spiders spawn in the most, so you'll be able to end the round really quickly in around 20 or 30 seconds compared to spending it in any other place. You want to use your pistols for the spider rounds no matter what the round is, so even at like round 80 you want to use your pistols just for that extra salvage and because it's really fast to do so. And then once the spider round is over, just get back to the roof by using the zip line. Now while you're camping here with the pistols, there are a few things that you also have to do. For example, the second you get your energy mine ready, you want to place your energy mine on the roof of the bank. The reason you want to do this is because the energy mines will melt the manglers, and you're gonna need this throughout the entire run because the manglers are the biggest problem of this run because they're such heavy bullet sponges. Even the jet gun wonder weapon isn't enough for him. But the second you get energy mine, pop it on the roof. Even if you have multiple, just pop as many as you can. The second you have one ready, just pop it on the roof. And also, the second the round ends, go ahead, make sure you buy yourself ammo for the pistols from the ammo crate. It might cost a lot, but you have to do this, and don't worry, you'll definitely have enough points to get to tier 3 Pack-a-Punch on your jet gun, even if you buy ammo every single round. Now, probably after round 25, when you get to a point where the abominations are too tanky for your pistols to take them out, what you want to do is use your mutant injector, and then just kill the abomination with the mutant injector, and then end the rest of the round using your mutant injector as well. The best way to use the mutant injector against the abomination is just by spamming melee on the abomination, and once your mutant injector runs out, go back to your strat where you camp in that small zipline area. You don't actually have to craft yourself another mutant injector, and this is because it's gonna take quite a lot of rounds before the next abomination spawns. By that time, one of the manglers that you kill will drop either a chopper gunner or another mutant injector. Both works. Chopper gunner works to kill the abomination, mutant injector works as well. When it's the next spider round and you still don't have a mutant injector or a chopper gunner, make sure you go and craft yourself one. This is why salvage is really important, and with every round you end, what you want to do is pick up all the salvage off the ground. Now the thing is, once there's a lot of salvage on the ground, it's actually really difficult to pick up all of it. The game is kind of buggy like that. However, if you crouch walk over the salvage, the game will auto pick up all the salvage on the ground no matter how much there is. So make sure you're just crouch walking over the salvage instead of just regular walking over it. What you're seeing me do here is use the Casimir. Don't craft yourself a Casimir, wait until a zombie drops one and then pick it up. And don't use it frequently either. What you want to do is just keep on that Casimir and use it only if you really need to, or if you see another Casimir drop, And the chance of another Casimir just regularly dropping is really high because of the Picky Eater augment on Voltrade that we equipped earlier. Segment 3, now this is the mid-round strategy. You'll know it's time to switch to the mid-round strategy when you get your first spider round after round 30. Now the moment you get your first spider round after round 30, chances are, just like me, you have only around 30,000 points. But that's okay, get your jet gun to tier 2 Pack-a-Punch, and then get your jet gun to tier 3 Pack-a-Punch when you have 30,000 points. And do the Pack-a-Punch on another spider round so you're safe and zombies don't kill you. Now the mid-round strategy is a lot slower than the early round strategy, and that's unfortunately because the GS45s are way too weak, so we can't use and abuse them. So if you feel like you're confident enough, you can go ahead and turn on Rampage Inducer if you want to speed up the rounds. It'll make the process way more difficult, however, if you think you can handle it, go ahead. Now in order to do this, we're gonna have to exploit the jet gun. And the best way to exploit the jet gun is by using the alternate fire mode, which is the button that you click in order to make the jet gun explode. However, we're not going to really make it explode, we're only going to charge it up for just a tiny bit, let it cool down, and then repeat it over and over again, just like I'm doing in this video here. Now this is very difficult to get on your first try, so if you want to attempt it a bit on the early rounds, go ahead. But once you figure it out, it's really easy to pull off over and over again. Now if you get cornered and get low health, you can just use the zipline to get away, play it up, and then use the zipline again to get back to the roof, and then continue the strategy. Now the basic rules we had from early round is applied here as well. The second you get an energy mine, just go ahead and place it, and when an abomination spawns in, use your mutant injector or use your chopper gunner to deal with him. Again, you don't have to craft yourself a chopper gunner or a mutant injector because it'll take a while for another abomination to spawn and a mangler that you kill will probably drop it. However, as I mentioned before, if you don't have a chopper gunner or mutant injector before the next spider round, then you have to go craft it in that spider round. The reason why we don't want to craft too many is because we want to save on salvage for the end game strategy. Now during the mid game, if you pick up an insta kill, switch to your pistols and then just use your pistols to wreak havoc on the roof. This will be a lot faster than using the jet gun. You can easily end the round. In the mid game, only use Casimirs if you really need to, or if another one drops on the floor so you can pick it up after throwing one. And that's because you're not going to be crafting any Casimirs. We really need to save on salvage for the end game. A good excuse to use the Casimir if you really need to is, for example, if you don't have an energy mine on the roof, and that's because the Casimirs will easily kill manglers and your jet gun won't. So if you don't have an energy mine, you have no choice but to use a Casimir. Of course, if it gets really bad, you can always use the mutant injector or the chopper gunner you have, but try to save them only for the abominations. Now we came to the final segment, and this is the endgame strategy. To be ready for the endgame strategy, you have to be at least around 75 and have at least 45,000 salvage. Keep on using the mid-game strategy until it's a spider round, and then once it's a spider round, go and craft yourself a mutant injector if you don't have one. If you already do have one, just end the spider round. We're going to be spending the rest of the strategy within the bank. To do the endgame strategy, you're also going to have to switch back to Ether Shroud. You don't need any special augments, you just need Ether Shroud, the main ability of Ether Shroud, that's all. Now for the endgame strategy, all you have to do is enter the bank and then camp in front of this wall weapon here. Now just focus on surviving as long as you can by exploiting the jet gun like we did on the mid game strategy. And do everything you can, throw a Casimir if you need to, do everything. But once you feel like you're overrun and you're almost about to die, use the explosion feature on the jet gun and then immediately spam the mutant injector. Once you're in mutant injector, all you have to do is end the round with mutant injector, and the easiest way and fastest way to do this, guaranteed with only one injector, is by constantly shooting that barrier over there, and while you're shooting the barrier, use melee to clear the rest of the corridor here. You do need to shoot the barriers in order to cut down the spawns as much as possible. This way you'll be able to finish the round in time before your mutant injector runs out. If you couldn't end the round in time, you'll probably only have like 2 or 3 manglers to deal with, and a fast way that you can deal with them is just by using your melee weapon on them. If you have Napalm Burst on the melee with Melee Macchiato and it's fully Pack-a-Punched and legendary rarity, you can easily kill the mangler. Once the round is over, go ahead and craft yourself another mutant injector, and then just repeat the same strategy over and over again till you reach round 100. As always, spend the spider rounds in this area next to the crafting bench and use your pistol in order to kill the spiders to end the round quickly, and also to get salvage just in case, so we can craft ourselves as many mutant injectors as we want. If for whatever reason you couldn't get enough zombies in time and there's still a lot of zombies and your mutant injector runs out, that's why we have Ether Shroud. Once your mutant injector runs out, just pop Ether Shroud, run out, pick up the mutant injector, pop the mutant injector, and then end the round, and continue the strategy as normal. If you want to exfil on 101, go ahead and turn on the exfil. I unfortunately downed while turning on the exfil because my game lagged and I couldn't really do much about that. However, if that does happen to you for some whatever reason, you do have the Wonder Fizz on the roof of the bank. Just make sure you have a mutant injector ready for the exfil. With your mutant injector you can easily clear the roof and exfil. If you want to see the full raw gameplay of me getting to round 100 from this footage, the video will be linked in the description. If you're wondering about the time taken, with this strategy it only took me 2.5 hours to get to round 100. Good luck to everyone, and I'll see you another time.